Thanks so much for joining me as we continue our way through Psalm 25. I was thinking a moment ago, this 3-paragraph psalm is 22 verses. We are picking it up today in about verse 16, and we're going to cruise through 16, 17, 18. But here's what I was noticing. David, in the first paragraph, verses 1 through 7, is praying, Lord, I'm lifting my soul. I'm trusting you. Show me, lead me, teach me. Remember not my sins. I'm waiting on you. Remember your mercies and your loving kindness, and be merciful to me. Then in verse 8, he turns his eyes from God to his reader, and he begins to preach and teach. Good and upright is the Lord. He teaches sinners in the way, and he goes through and he preaches for a while. He teaches his children and his descendants and you and me who God is and how God operates. And then he tells us, verse 15, mine eyes are toward the Lord, are ever toward the Lord. And he begins to pray again towards God. I love studying the directionality of Scripture. There's so much to glean just from that. So David resumes his prayer by turning his eyes back to the Lord. And now in verses 15, 16, 17, and 18, I want you to see what David does. He lists his troubles to God. And I don't know if you are in the habit of doing that, but maybe today this podcast comes to you and you've got a long list of troubles, and maybe you think God's forgotten you, but he hasn't. He is waiting to hear you, and you can rehearse your list of troubles to him. And in doing so, you will gain his perspective in them. You'll be taught by him. You'll be guided by him through them. And you'll be led in the path that he's ordained for you. And so you'll see your troubles as an opportunity to run to God and learn from him and be guided and experience him. That's the beautiful thing about life's troubles, is they provide opportunities for us to experience God, and to know him, and to talk to him, and to know that he cares about us. We experience his closeness and his care more when we're in trouble than at any other time in our lives. And so if you're in trouble, don't get mad at God. Don't get disappointed with God. No, run to him and let him be present with you, and let his grace be real and his mercy be experiential, and let his comfort flood into your heart. And I'm telling you, it's indescribable. When you experience God at work in your life in a trial, it is just beautiful and wonderful. It almost nullifies the sense or the experience of the trial. The experience of God becomes so wonderful and so valuable and precious, such a treasure to you, that it almost completely negates and makes inconsequential the experience of the hardship itself. Okay, now I'm not trying to trivialize or minimize the experience of our hardship. I get it, it's real. I'm simply trying to upsize the experience of God, that he is much more real. And when you run to him and walk through it with him, it's a wonderful thing. And that's what David's going to do. David's going to rehearse his troubles with God. So look at it. In verse 15, he says, God will pluck my feet out of the net. So God, I've got traps. My enemy is laying traps for me, and I am at risk and vulnerable, so I need you to save me and protect me. Verse 16, he says, I need you to turn towards me and have mercy on me, because I'm desolate and afflicted. I am totally alone. In this affliction, I've got nobody but you, God. So turn towards me. I need your presence, and I need you to be with me, and I need to experience you shattering my aloneness. God understands our lonely moments, and he's with us in them. I'm desolate and afflicted. Verse 17, the troubles of my heart are enlarged. He essentially says, I have a heart that's breaking. God, I have a broken heart. Oh, bring me out of my distresses. Lord, I need you to reach into my heart and comfort me and calm me and bring me out of the distress. This is an emotional state. Bring me out of my distresses, the things that are giving me anguish and trouble. Bring me out. Now, God can do that in one of two ways. He can solve the circumstance, like bring me out of the circumstances, or he can take away the anxiety and distress in the circumstance. Either way, He has brought me out of my distress. Then he says, look upon mine affliction and my pain. God, I'm in pain. There are traps. I'm alone. I'm afflicted. My heart is breaking. My emotions are collapsing. I'm distressed. I'm afflicted. I'm in pain. And then he says, again, as he's said several times in the psalm, forgive all of my sins. It's a time where David is acknowledging, God, there may be things I've done that have displeased you. Forgive them. Let me be, let me experience, let me remember that I am the object of your mercy. And so I just love the fact that David is rehearsing his troubles with God. And friend, I encourage you, if this podcast, if this video devotion is finding you in trouble today, you have a God that is waiting for you to run to him and rehearse. Make a list with him. Hand the list to him and say, God, tell me how to feel. Deliver me out of my distress. Be with me as a friend. Comfort me, encourage me, protect me. And he will. He'll walk with you through it. He'll either get you out of it or he'll care for you and sustain you in it. Either way, he's going to be good. So that's enough for today. Happy Friday. Hope to see you Sunday, and if not, we'll connect again on Monday.